In the heart of the African savanna, where the sun bakes the earth and the trees whisper ancient secrets, lives a mighty lion, a king feared by all creatures. His strength was unmatched. His roar could silence the entire forest. But not far from this fearsome ruler lived someone much smaller. Someone cunning and bold. This creature didn't have strength or size, but he had something even more powerful, a mind sharper than any claw. He was Anansi, the spider, a trickster like no other. And today, Anansi would attempt the unthinkable, to outsmart the king himself. Long ago, under the vast, open skies of West Africa, lay an ancient land rich with beauty and life. Here, the endless savanna stretched as far as the eye could see, bathed in the warm glow of the sun as it climbed to its place in the heavens. The grasses swayed in a golden dance, whispering secrets to the winds, while rivers wound like glistening ribbons across the earth, bringing life to all they touched. Mighty baobab trees stood tall and wise, their roots deep in the soil and their branches reaching toward the sky, as if to draw wisdom from the stars themselves. This was a land where every stone, every tree, and every breath held stories from ages past. In this world, the animals moved freely, each knowing its place in the great circle of life. Among them, there was one whose name stirred both awe and respect. Lion the King. Strong and proud, Lion was not just a ruler, but a symbol of might and power that even the winds dared not defy. His mane, a crown of fiery gold, caught the sunlight as he prowled the plains, his powerful steps leaving their mark on the earth. When Lion roared, it was as though thunder itself had descended from the sky, and every creature, from the swift gazelle to the smallest insect, felt his power. Lion's rule was unquestioned, his strength unmatched, and his pride unwavering. Yet this land was more than strength and power. For in the shadows, where the grasses grew thick and the light played in dappled patterns, another figure lived, a creature far smaller, with a different kind of strength. His name was Anansi, the spider. While Lion ruled through might, Anansi was a creature of wit and cleverness, a trickster who saw the world through a different lens. To the Ashanti people and many others who shared these lands, Anansi's tales were cherished, passed down from one generation to the next, teaching that wisdom and laughter could often triumph over brute force. Anansi was no king, but he was known by all. With his nimble legs and quick mind, he had a gift for weaving stories as intricate as his own web, spinning tales of wonder and mischief, always looking for a way to turn the world in his favor. He was small, perhaps, but underestimated by many. Anansi was sharp-eyed and curious, never satisfied with the way things were. It was said that he could outsmart even the strongest and boldest, for his strength lay not in his body, but in his cunning mind. And so, in this land of sunlight and shadow, of mighty rulers and clever schemers, a story was about to unfold. A story that would remind all who heard it of the power of cleverness, and that sometimes, even the smallest among us can leave the greatest mark. For Anansi, the spider who dared to challenge kings, was about to face his greatest test, and show all who watched that the true strength of a creature is not always measured by its size or its roar. Among all the animals, there was none more cunning or clever than Anansi, the spider. Small as he was, Anansi held within him a fierce desire, a burning need to prove that wit could rival strength, that a quick mind could conquer even the mightiest. He wasn't satisfied with just surviving in the shadows of the forest. He longed to be recognized, to be known as the cleverest of them all. And in his heart, he believed that outsmarting the most powerful creature in the land would be the only way to earn the respect he craved. One day, Lion, sitting upon his throne of stone and basking in his own glory, decided to make a bold proclamation. With his deep, rumbling voice echoing across the savannah, he declared, "If there is anyone who believes they can outsmart me, come forward and prove it. The one who can best me in wit will earn a place by my side as my advisor, to be known as the wisest in the kingdom." The word spread quickly, carried by the breeze and whispered from one creature to another. But few dared even to consider such a challenge. For who could match wits with the powerful Lion? Who would dare to challenge him? But Anansi, hidden beneath a leaf and listening closely, felt his heart race with excitement. This is my moment, he thought, his eyes sparkling with anticipation. He knew that, though Lion was fierce, his strength alone could not guard him from cleverness. In that instant, Anansi's mind began to spin with ideas, weaving a plan as intricate as his web, each thread carefully placed to ensnare the king himself. Anansi's sly smile crept across his face as he thought of all the ways he could turn Lion's strength against him, all the tricks he could use to gain victory. He knew that Lion's pride was as large as his roar, and that perhaps would be the key to his downfall. In the shadows, Anansi plotted, his small frame hidden but his ambitions larger than life. For he would do whatever it took to prove to every creature that even the smallest spider could outwit the king of the beasts. With a heart full of determination and a mind racing with ideas, Anansi approached Lion once again, ready to prove his cleverness once and for all. "Great Lion," he declared boldly, "let us engage in a contest of strength versus wit. I bet that I can tie you up so tightly that you won't be able to break free." Lion, prideful and amused by the audacity of the little spider, laughed heartily. "You tie me up? You underestimate the power of the king of beasts." Anansi smiled slyly, knowing that pride often blinded even the strongest creatures. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, casting a warm glow across the savannah, Anansi set to work. With incredible speed, he began weaving a web so intricate and delicate, it looked almost like a work of art. "Just wait and see," he murmured to himself, feeling the thrill of his plan unfold. Lion, curious but confident, sat still, watching Anansi with a mix of skepticism and intrigue. Once Anansi finished his masterpiece, he beckoned Lion to step into the web. "You will see how clever I truly am." Lion stepped into the center of the web, and Anansi quickly tightened the strands around him, the webbing glimmering in the sunlight. Anansi's heart raced with excitement, but just as he thought victory was within reach, Lion let out a powerful roar. With a surge of strength, he broke free from the delicate trap, sending Anansi tumbling backward in shock. "Is that all you've got, spider?" Lion taunted, his pride unshaken. Anansi barely managed to escape Lion's massive paw as it swiped at him, and as he scampered away, he realized that he would need to dig even deeper into his bag of tricks. Undeterred, Anansi knew he had to think smarter, not just harder. As he contemplated his next move, an idea sparked in his mind. "What if I challenge Lion to a race?" he thought, his cleverness bubbling over with excitement. But not just any race. This race will have a twist that will confuse even the mightiest of beasts. Disguising himself with leaves and mud to hide his identity, Anansi approached Lion once more, his voice light and teasing. "Great King, I am the fastest creature in all the land. I challenge you to a race, and I dare you to beat me." Lion's eyes lit up with pride at the prospect of proving himself once again. "Very well, Spider," he roared. "Prepare to be defeated." The animals gathered around, their curiosity piqued by this unusual challenge. As they lined up for the race, Anansi's heart raced with excitement. Little did Lion know that Anansi had devised a cunning plan. As the race began, Anansi dashed ahead, but secretly, he had placed identical-looking spiders along the racecourse. Each time Lion glanced back, he saw another spider that looked exactly like Anansi, each one seemingly keeping pace. Lion charged forward with all his might, convinced he was losing ground, yet each time he looked back, he was greeted by the sight of another, Anansi, racing behind him. Frustration began to bubble within Lion as he pushed harder and harder, but the little spider seemed to be everywhere. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Lion crossed the finish line, only to see Anansi lounging leisurely at the end, a triumphant smile on his face. "What trickery is this?" Lion roared in disbelief, unable to accept that he had been bested by a spider. But still, his pride prevented him from acknowledging defeat, and he vowed that he would find a way to win. With Lion still seething from the race, Anansi knew he had to employ a bolder trick to truly turn the tide. Drawing on his reputation as a clever trickster, he concocted a story that would pique Lion's interest. "Oh, great Lion," Anansi began, feigning innocence. Have you heard of the mythical treasure hidden high in the mountains? It is said to be so magnificent that only the wisest creatures can find it. I have heard that the key to uncovering its location lies within a riddle. Lion's ears perked up at the mention of treasure. His curiosity and pride were instantly ignited. "Where is this treasure?" he demanded, leaning in closer. His heart racing at the thought of a prize worthy of his status as king. Anansi continued, spinning tales of false clues that would lead Lion on a wild chase. "But beware, great Lion. The clues are meant for the cleverest among us. You must think wisely to uncover them." With that, Lion set off on a grand adventure, determined to prove his wisdom. Anansi, meanwhile, meticulously created a series of misleading clues, twisted paths, strange markings on trees, and secret passages that would lead Lion in circles. The sun began to set as Lion trekked through the mountains, each clue taking him farther from the treasure he sought. Hours turned into what felt like days, and the mighty king grew exhausted, his once unyielding spirit waning under the weight of his quest. As frustration washed over him, Lion roared in anger, realizing that he had been outsmarted once again. But although he felt the sting of defeat, his pride refused to accept it. He would not show weakness. He would continue to hunt down this treasure until he finally claimed victory. Anansi watched from a distance, knowing that while Lion's strength was still intact, his cleverness had begun to take its toll. As dusk settled over the savannah, Anansi the spider prepared for his final and most ambitious trick. He spun a grand sticky web, and with great cunning, disguised it as a seat of wisdom. Anansi knew that Lion's pride would not allow him to pass up an opportunity to prove his superiority, so he called out to him, "Oh, mighty Lion, come and take a seat upon this web of wisdom, for it holds the secrets of the cleverest animals in the land." With a roar of confidence, Lion approached, his heart swelling with anticipation. He had faced and conquered every challenge thrown his way, and surely this would be no different. "I am the cleverest," he proclaimed, and without hesitation, he leaped onto the web, ready to claim his supposed prize. But as soon as his powerful body made contact, he felt the sticky threads ensnare him. "What treachery is this?" he roared in disbelief, struggling against the bonds of the web that held him fast. Anansi watched from the shadows, a sly grin creeping across his face as he revealed his cunning plan. "You see, dear Lion, it is I who have outsmarted you at last. The true cleverest animal in the kingdom is not the strongest but the one who can use their wits." As Lion struggled, his pride shattered by Anansi's deception, he realized he had been outwitted. The roar of frustration echoed through the savannah as he acknowledged his defeat. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm golden glow over the landscape, Lion, still trapped in the sticky web, turned to Anansi with a heavy heart. "You have proven yourself clever today, little spider. I acknowledge your victory," he said begrudgingly, his voice laced with a mix of anger and respect. "But remember, Anansi, pride has a way of catching up with those who boast too much." Anansi, feeling triumphant, danced around Lion, but deep down, a small flicker of doubt began to grow. He had outsmarted the king today, but what would happen when the tables turned? Would he always be able to stay one step ahead? Thus, the tale teaches us that while cleverness and wit may lead to victory, one must tread carefully. For every trickster, no matter how clever, can one day find themselves ensnared by their own pride and schemes. From this tale, we learn that cleverness is a powerful tool, a gift that can shape destinies and turn the tide of encounters. Yet, it is a gift that must be wielded with wisdom and humility. Anansi, with all his cunning, managed to outsmart the mighty Lion, but as he walked away, he couldn't shake off a sense of unease. While he celebrated his victory, the words of the Lion echoed in his mind. Pride and trickery may help one to win battles, but they do not always earn lasting respect or friendship. In the heart of the savannah, where strength often reigns supreme, it's essential to remember that true greatness lies not just in cleverness but in the balance between wisdom and humility. As Anansi glanced back at Lion, he saw a powerful creature, a king brought low by his own pride, yet still noble in his defeat. It was a poignant reminder that the greatest trick of all may be recognizing when to use one's wit and when to show restraint. In the grand tapestry of life, we find that the cleverest of creatures must learn that strength and wisdom go hand in hand. In the end, the most respected and admired are those who use their gifts not just for victory, but to uplift others and forge bonds of trust and friendship. Let this tale remind us that while cleverness can win the day, it is kindness and understanding that endure beyond the fleeting victories of life. As we come to the end of our tale, let's take a moment to reflect on the remarkable journey of Anansi and the mighty lion. Anansi, the clever spider, engaged in a battle of wits, showcasing his cunning in a series of audacious tricks. First, he challenged Lion to a game of strength versus wit, attempting to trap the king of the jungle in his own web. Though he momentarily ensnared Lion, the powerful roar that followed was a reminder that sheer strength can shatter the finest of plans. Then came the race, where Anansi cleverly disguised his fellow spiders to create the illusion of victory, frustrating Lion to no end. Yet, even in his deceit, there lingered a recklessness that made one question if his cleverness was worth the potential consequences of angering such a formidable foe. Finally, Anansi's grand trick, a deceptive seat of wisdom that left Lion trapped, marked the pinnacle of his cunning. But as Lion roared in frustration, Anansi's triumph was bittersweet, raising the question: did his cleverness ultimately bring him true respect, or just a fleeting victory over pride? As we reflect on Anansi's journey, I invite you to ponder this. Were his tricks worth the consequences they carried? Did his cleverness truly serve him well, or did it sow the seeds of future trouble? And now, dear viewers, I ask you, do you think Anansi made the right choice by challenging the lion? Was his quest for recognition and superiority justified, or did it come at too high a price? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's engage in this conversation together and explore the intricate balance of wit, pride, and respect in the world of our favorite folktales. If you found yourself captivated by Anansi's daring tricks and the clever twists of this tale, I invite you to show your appreciation by giving this video a thumbs up. Your support means the world to us and helps keep the magic of storytelling alive. And I want to hear from you. What was your favorite part of Anansi's clever escapades? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I love connecting with each of you and hearing your insights. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more enchanting African folktales that spark the imagination and share valuable lessons. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know when we release our next story. Until then, keep your hearts open to the stories that surround us.